So I just thought I would make a quick video sharing some news with those of you who are following my YouTube channel and maybe aware of some of the things that have happened to me over the past year or two, but who might not live where I live and so may not be privy to this news. On Friday morning, I woke up prepared to depart for my Chief Mountain expedition. And before I left the house, I opened up Facebook and learned that Red Crow College, the institution where I worked and really sank my heart into for about 13 years, the institution that recently terminated my employment, was in the process of burning to the ground. And there were several images like this one taken by witnesses that showed just how devastating the fire was, how completely unsalvageable the situation. And when I drove south toward the mountain myself, I was able to see the plumes of smoke from the highway. And a lot burned up in that building, unfortunately. This was really, in some respects, a real tragedy, especially for students of Blood Tribe, because the entire registry system, all of the student transcripts of all of the courses that every student who attended Red Crow had taken for all of the college's history was housed in this building. To my knowledge, that information was never put on a redundant external server or on the cloud or anything of that sort. And so I believe it all burnt. I believe it's all gone. And that's a huge, huge loss for the students. There was actually someone working on compiling a database of that information, all of the transcript information, and uploading it on an external server. But like myself, that person was terminated for political reasons that had nothing to do with their actual job performance. And so that opportunity was lost, and now it's gone, forever gone. So I feel really bad for the students. I feel bad for the employees whose lives are up in the air today. I don't know what's going to happen to Red Crow College, whether it will be like, whether it'll just shuffle into a different location, or whether there's going to be some big adjustments to it, to the agenda of post-secondary education and Blood Tribe after this. I don't know. I'll just have to see what happens. But for now, I know, there's a lot of employees that are going to be affected, who may be living paycheck to paycheck and probably are going to miss maybe something, and who may or may not even have jobs in the long run. I don't know. So I feel bad for them. Not necessarily the ones who are in the administrative positions who have made some of the decisions that it changed the college in the last year, but for the others, this is what Red Crow College looks like now. It's just a shell, just a brick shell. So everything is gone from there. Um, there were still things in my office. There were still belongings and things that are gone, but not too much. The day I was terminated, I got most of my things out of there. Unfortunately, there were some irreplaceable records in there. Some reel-to-reel recordings and digital tape recordings and these kind of things. We've digitized them, so they still exist, but the originals were there, left there, and they're gone. And there were some artifacts, and there were some rare documents and things like that in the library. And all of that stuff is gone. So there were some other artifacts. You know, there was a lot of stuff, a lot of memories and things in that building, a lot of history that burnt up. But on the other hand, you know, my perspective on the fire, or at least, you know, how I was kind of taught about fire is that when something burns, it's because the sun claimed it. And so, you know, if you get like a coal from a fire pops out and burns your sleeve or something like that, then the sun has claimed your shirt. And so it's time to, you give up that shirt and then you can buy a new one, right? Or acquire a new one. So my perspective on this overall is that perhaps it's just a needed cleansing, that now there can be a fresh start. And this building itself, this was the old Catholic residential school building. There's a lot of ghosts in there. There's a lot of really terrible memories locked in there, along with the good ones. And, you know, many people didn't like this building, didn't want to come here because of their memories of being locked up there, kept trapped as children. So, you know, that's gone now. This building won't be able to be used again. So maybe it is an important cleansing, and maybe it was something that needed to happen, and so now it has, and now it'll be time to take a next step. And what that'll be, I don't know. Certainly, I've got my image of what that potentially could be if I were involved, but I'm not, so I don't know what it'll be. But in any case, thought I'd share that news. It's quite a dramatic happening, considering all that's gone on recently at the college. So now we'll have to wait and find out what will be the next step for post-secondary education for Blood Tribe.